Sit next to your dad.
Wow.
See these motherfuckers here in this room? This is exactly what I try to explain to you people all the time about how fucking cramped it is in this tiny little place. There's a dog down here. People, that's it. That's the entirety of the room. This is the sardine can that we fucking film in, people, okay? This is what I try to explain all the time.
And he's not joking. By the way, welcome to the Days Off, episode number 87.
That's right.
I guess. Because I'm not fucking stupid. I know that's what's happening here.
And that's exactly what the fuck is happening here.
This isn't a day off.
For us, it's not.
This is me filming Days Off when I'm supposed to be on here, right here. There's a chat. There's a chat literally right fucking here. You see that? You see that chat? That's some motherfucking Days Off chat. Speaking in the wrong mic and everything, goddammit. That's it. That's the update. That's the fucking update. Bye. Little bit by little bit, I'm outside, so I figured I'd switch to the cell phone because, quite frankly, doing outside with the other camera currently, I have a shotgun mic, which is pretty decent, but I need a cattail before I actually, start filming outside. I need something to break that wind, because even the slightest wind is really picked up by that shotgun mic, which is what it's supposed to do. To be fair, I'm not mad about it, and I don't have Sennheiser equipment or anything like that currently, so that's just the way that it is. Oh, man. Good episode, and the whole changing how we're going to do this, that we're going to go back to having it rotate through topics and episodes and things like that. Hopefully, this ends up really kicking ass. It felt a lot better to do the episodes today. It was a lot more loose-fitting and everything. We just kind of ran through them and had fun and talked shit and went on some rants. And it's exactly what the show is supposed to be. It's what the show is supposed to be. My teeth are like fiery, gleamy. But it was decent. So now the real kicker is just to kind of wait and see how that continues on, because now we need to start figuring out exactly what the rotation is going to be in terms of when do we do costumes, when do we do villains, when do we do, and we'll figure that out. It's just it's all a process. We'll figure the process out. It's just going to take time. But today was a hell of a lot better than the last one. Hell of a lot better. And then the other thing, there is another update that I will be doing probably later. This is just like a quick, hey, we're doing a thing and whatnot. So, yeah, okay. I'm out here all alone. All alone with the fire. Why am I all alone? Okay, so let's just run this part of the update. So this is, everybody went inside to play this game, right? To play this MTV game. And I'm like, aren't we still gonna do s'mores? And they say, yeah, we are. And I'm like, oh, okay. Because we kind of have like this happening, right? So see, there's this fire thing happening, and you can't just leave the fire alone. So now, like, everybody's in there doing that, and Bill's like out here, like, with the fire by himself. I don't actually mind, to be fair. It's nice just to sit out here and kind of collect my own thoughts, my own stuff, especially after such a major purchase like switching cars and whatnot. That's going to be the next thing. I'm going to talk about that story when I do the Sunday part of this update before I edit everything out. New car. I'm the kind of person that feels almost sick when, like, when they spend money, and that was not a little bit of money. I mean, I got a nice car. It's going to last me a good long time. The payment plans and everything, I'm fairly decent in terms of like what I do. I'm very stable in terms of my job and whatnot, because I have to be, because I mean, I wasn't lucky enough to land one of the YouTube gigs or whatever when I was young, so I had to go into something that was solid. So I've worked I've worked in a shipping industry, logistics industry for like 11 years now. So not worried about making payments or anything, but I always feel sick when I spend that kind of money. So it's nice to sit out here, kind of calm my nerves, kind of watch the fire, and just kind of know that I'm fine. And I am, to be fair. And sometimes you really do have to point that out to yourself because it's easy to get lost in all this. It's nice. Just sit out by the fire. It really is. But damn it, I'm looking forward to some s'mores. Better get their asses out here soon. Okay, so we're heading out here. We are going to go get in the car, and I'm going to go get something to eat, and I'm going to give my final little thing here, my update, my final piece of my update here on my Sunday. So, let's put this up here for right now. Little bit of a weird camera angle here, but it'll sit there and it'll be fine, and I'll talk about this. I had to get a new car. I had to do it. So when we talk about cars, there's certain things that I know, there's certain things that I don't know. And the information that I don't have, I'm not mechanic savvy. I've never been mechanic savvy. It's not a skill that I personally have. So when stuff started going down, when things started happening with the truck, and keep in mind, my truck was a 2011, okay? 2010 and all, actually. It means it was manufactured 2009. I bought that sucker in 2000, it was 2012 or 2013, and then here we are in 2021. I had some issues come up with the truck over time, the SUV that I was driving, and sure enough, it's just the way that it was. I finally came across a point where enough had happened that I had to get rid of it. I'm not happy to jump car to car. I don't like to do it. I had a 2002 SUV and then a 2011 SUV. About every 10 years, I seem to change automobiles, and I hate it. I hate the experience. I hate shopping for cars. I hate going into that kind of debt. Like, it's a lot. But I had the light come on, engine light, and a while ago, the power steering had went out almost like a year and a half ago. The power steering went out, may have been 2 years ago. And they quoted me that I had to replace the module. Well, the module was going to cost like $1,500 starting, is what they quoted me. And I was like, I'm just going to not have power steering. I only have so much money. Like, it's one thing to put something on a credit card or whatever like that, which I have decent credit because I'm like paranoid about debt, so I pay everything off and like. But anyways, that's another problem, is I hate jumping into a car loan because it's like this massive debt that's going to follow me for a long time. It's like buying the house almost made me physically ill because it was like, it's a huge thing. I wish that I was able to like save money and just pay for things. I can't. Like, there's some things that I have to buy the way that I have to buy them. And car shopping, that is what it is, and you get what you pay for half the time. And for a long time, I bought cars off people's lawns, you know what I mean? And then they'd go bad after a year or so, and I'd fucking fight with them for the next 2 years, then I'd replace them, until finally in 2010, like I said, I bought my first car off of a lot, and I paid for it, and paid for it, and paid for it, and paid for it, and after a while, I get used to doing so. It's so much out of your paycheck, and yada yada. It is what it is, but it doesn't change the fact that it almost literally makes me sick to have to do it. Well, okay, so all of that aside, let me fix this real quick. There we go. All of that aside, the light comes on and I have a stabilization issue, which just did not make me happy. That really, really pissed me off because I just fixed it. Literally, I had just fixed it. See, look, I rebuilt both the front and right axles almost completely. Replaced tire rods, all sorts of shit like that. Rebuilt almost the whole front of the car, like a $2,000 job, literally. And then this light comes on telling me there's a stabilization issue, and I have a vacuum issue, which is the car starting to choke itself out. And like, everything was building up to the point where it was going to cost like another $2,000 or $3,000 to pay it off, and the car only had like $600 left on it anyway, and what the fuck was the point? Like, I was at that point getting to the part where the car was going to start nickel and diming me, and if you don't have the kind of mechanical expertise to keep up with it, you're just paying a mechanic every month for a $1,000 problem, and I didn't have it in me. So I decided I was moving up. And I may have picked literally the greatest moment to escape the truck. The greatest moment to escape the SUV. Here's what happened. Because this is, I think this is wild. This is absolutely crazy that it took place like this. But this is what happened. I paid, or yeah, I got a lot of the paperwork and shit like that done, right? And then I was supposed to move the stuff from the SUV over to my new car. So guy walks out, takes the plates, he's putting it on this car, and while he's putting it on this car, he opens up the back, the storage and whatnot. So he opens up the back, and I go and I grab the toolbox out, and I grab my jumper cables, and I grab some hangers. I don't know what, it was like 5 hangers back there, but I grabbed them out and everything, and after I did that, I take them over, and I put them in this car, and then as I put them in here, and I shut the door on mine, he shuts the door on the SUV. And as he shut it, the back window, the right side, popped, it slipped, fell off the truck, hit the ground, shatters everywhere. The latch, because the glass used to open up independently of the door, so you could open up the glass or you could open up the door. Well, I guess last winter, it was already fairly rusted out and everything, and last winter did it absolutely no favors when it rusted the rest of the way through, and I only had one more door open left on that truck, because as he closed it, it fell off, and the guy jumped back, and he was like, holy crap. He said, was it like that? And I said, that just broke. Just now. You just broke it. And he's like, he says, well, I guess it's a good thing we already signed all the paperwork, isn't it? At least it is for you. And I was like, oh yes, it's very good for me. I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe it. That was absolutely crazy. Not much in terms of the day off. Maybe I'll take a couple shots of the car or whatnot just to show off the new car. It's not a big deal or whatever. Maybe. I don't know. I probably won't, to be fair. But anyways, guys, there we go. That's another day's off. We're moving right along here. I gotta start getting some of the other stuff taken care of. Okay? Like, I gotta get the show back up and running to where it was. So I am going to be working on some more shelf stuff and talking about what's going up on the shelves and getting some topics. I have like a whole book that's written down with topics and whatnot. I got to get into the habit of coming home either on like a Monday or a Tuesday or something like that and recording like 6, 7, 8 episodes out the gate, just bam, 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 and then editing them all and whatnot, because I really want this to keep the momentum that I've got running and see if I can actually get some subs and shit like that. Because I've been on the verge for a long time of walking away from all this and going back to other things that were different in my life. And that's part of this year, is working on myself, working on my physical activity, working on how I eat, working on a whole bunch of different things. And part of it could be the evaluation of YouTube. If this doesn't go anywhere, and not that it has to be successful, but like if it turns out to be that I'm really just talking to myself, then I'd rather just keep a video journal or whatever and be done with it. I'll go back to writing. Like, writing was something that I left behind when I started all this YouTube stuff, and I used to do a lot of writing, and it hasn't exactly sat with me well that I left that behind. I think about that sometimes, and so I'm doing more writing and everything. I'm trying to figure out, this year is going to be extraordinarily experimental for me, figuring out my shit. And right now, my shit is I have to go find tacos to eat.